Hi, I'm Jihan. So I will talk about our chosen outdoor stadium, which is FNB Stadium. It is a first national bank stadium. It is also known as the Calabash. It's called Calabash because the design is just like an African pots or pumpkins. So it's located in Nasrec, bordering the Soweto area of Johannesburg, South Africa. The construction cost is 440 million US dollar. So it was built in 1987 and officially opened in 1989. So because of FIFA does not allow stadiums to be referred to the name of the sponsor during a FIFA approved tournament, so the name of this first national bank stadium became FNB Stadium. The prestigious event conducted in FNB Stadium are 1996 African Cup of Nations, 2010 FIFA World Cup, and 2013 African Cup of Nations. In addition, 2021 South Africa versus British and Irish Lions are scheduled in July and August 2021.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm Shaza from SR1134C. So for this slide, I will explain about the management chart. Okay, for outdoor stadium first. As you know, we choose FNB Stadium. So for this stadium, it has an owner that is the city of Johannesburg. It is the largest city in South Africa, classified as a major city, and is one of the 50 largest urban areas in the world. So next, the stadium also has an operator. The operator of the stadium is South African Stadium Management (SSMA). The SSMA is divided into two, which is executive directors and non-executive directors. For executive director, they had Bertie Gobler as CEO, Bali as hospitality and ticketing, facility provider or as commercial, Bonani Do as financial, Glory Kangala as event support service, and Nirusha Mudle as event and compliance project. Next, for executive directors, they had R.E. Stephen as chief executive, A.B. Poland, and D. Vinokur. So for this stadium also has several clubs and teams. It is a collaborate which is Kaiser Chiefs FC. It is a South African professional football club based in Naturena that plays in the Premier Football League. Next is Bafana Bafana. It is the South African national football team, represents South Africa in men's international football. This team's greatest result was winning the African Cup in Nation at home 1996. This team is the nation's most favorite sports team. The last one is Springbok. It is the county national team governed by the South Africa Rugby Union. The team has been representing South Africa in International Rugby Union since 30 July 1891 when they played their first test match against a British Islands touring team. That's all for the management chart of outdoor stadium, which is FNB Stadium. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, for next slide is current functions for FNB Stadium. FNB Stadium, this venue has hosted the biggest sports and music event this country has ever seen, including the opening and closing ceremonies as well as the final of the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Then, FNB Stadium regularly takes center stage to full house for domestic and international football matches. The unique design of the FNB Stadium is much appreciated internationally and is often fondly known as the Calabash after being rebuilt with the tune of $33.3 billion in time for the first African World Cup in 2010. It was the location of the first speech of Nelson Mandela in Johannesburg after his release from prison in 1990, a few days after he was released from prison where he served for 27 years. The stadium also served as a place for a memorial survived tribute for Mandela on December 10, 2030. Last but not least, on top of it all is the light membrane roof hovering some 40 meters above the field. It doesn't not span all the way inwards top, only covering the upper seats and leaving lower sections open to the elements. This allows proper sunlight access and improved ventilation. Next slide is sport types. For soccer, stadium has been used by the South African national football team for both friendlies and qualifications matches. The All FNB Stadium also houses the then South African Football Association's SAFA headquarters as well as the office of the semi-professional National Soccer League, which later traded as the Professional Premier Soccer League. The South African national football team also won their first ever trophy here when they lifted the Zimbabwe for Nation Cup in 1995 in a competition featuring equipes Zambia and Zimbabwe. Number 2 is local soccer. The FNB Stadium is home to Kaizer Chiefs Football Club. It is also preferred venue for the Soweto Derby soccer matches. The first league match at the stadium since being rebuilt was 2010 until 12 Premier Soccer League match between Orlando Pirates and Free State Stars. Next is for rugby. FNB Stadium is a multi-purpose venue and hosts its first rugby union match in 2010. The Three Nations match between South Africa and New Zealand won by the latter.
Okay, now I will continue a presentation about the special approach of the FNB Stadium, which is outdoor stadium. Okay, the special approach for the stadium is about its design. Okay, design is known as calabash. Calabash is the traditional African pots that made from a model of the gods, were inspired for its round shape. Okay, next I will introduce about the calabash. Okay, the history of calabash is a fruiting wine that is also known as bottle gourd, which flower gourd, lawn melon, now New Guinea bean and Tasmania bean. Okay, next is about the stadium's design. Okay, the stadium design was chosen from a number of concepts, including the recognition of missing Johannesburger, bean dams, and the Gotla, a symbolic meeting place defined by a tree in a state in Africa. Okay, as well as Protea, South Africa national flowers, or a horizontal representation of Africa, which include a flat roof supported by desert and tropical trees that emerge.
Okay, now the facilities provided at FNB Stadium, outdoor stadium in South Africa. 1. Can be seat up to 94,736. It is one of the largest stadiums in Africa, and this stadium used to be the venue for the 2010 World Cup prestigious event. Apart from being used as a stadium, it is also a concert for some famous artists, namely like Linkin Park, Lady Gaga, and Guns N' Roses. Secondly, bar and lounge. It serves a variety of interesting dishes selected by its chef. It also provided alcoholic and non-alcoholic dishes that each customer can choose from. This place is also good to build a business relationship because it has a peaceful atmosphere and good facilities. 3. They provide a 15,000 car parking, ample parking space that can accommodate up to 15,000 cars at any one time. Lastly, 4th, wheelchair access. This is a tunnel or paths that has been provided by the management for people with disabilities or people who use wheelchairs. It is very good and nice because it provides facilities for people with disabilities to watch football match together.
So now we will go through to our chosen indoor stadium, which is Velodrome National Stadium Nilai. So it is the first attempt to create an indoor cycling track arena, and it does not have a better example to revive as the previous building of Velodrome in Malaysia. So it is the first indoor velodrome. It was built on January 2015 and was officially opened on 25th of May 2017. So the construction cost is 80 million ringgit Malaysia. It was located in Nilai, Negeri Sembilan, Malaysia. Among the cycling events that have been held are the Kuala Lumpur SEA Games and the Kuala Lumpur Asian Para Games, which held from August 19 to 30 and September 17 to 23.
Okay, now I will explain about the management chart of indoor stadium, which is the National Stadium Velodrome Nilai. Okay, this stadium was inaugurated by the Chief Minister of Negeri Sembilan, Datuk Seri Muhammad Hassan, in 2017. Next, this stadium has several corporations involved, which is Ministry of Youth and Sport Malaysia, and in that year was Khairi Jamaluddin as the Minister of Youth and Sports. Next, Velotrade GmbH and Co.kg, and represented by the Senior Manager of the company is Walter von Leitchigen, as well as the Kementerian Kerja Raya, and represented by Datuk Fadilah Yusof as Menteri Kerja Raya. Okay, it also has other corporation involved, which is the National Sport Institute, represented by the Chief Executive Officer of the National Sport Institute, Dr. Muhammad Khairi Zawi. Next, National Sport Council, represented by Director General of the National Sport Council, Dato' Ahmad Syafawi Ismail. And lastly, Malaysia National Cycling Federation, PKBM, represented by President of the Malaysia National Cycling Federation, PKBM, Dato' Abu Samah Abdul Wahab. There are also cyclists involved with this stadium. Among them are Dato' Enjong Man, M. Kumarasan, Rosman Alwi, Josiah Eng. All four of them are legends for cycling sport, and Muhammad Aziz Hasni Awang was also involved. I think that's all from me, so I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, next is current functions of the venue for Velodrome's National Nilai. The Velodromes can hold 2,000 spectators and was acquired first-class accreditations by Switzerland-based Union Cyclists International. More meaningful for awards champions when given the honor by securing one of the tracks at the finish line. The Velodromes built in January 2050 and operated by the Public Works Department has a 200 150 meters long track made of spruce wood with a capacity of 1,018 spectator seats and is equipped with other facilities such as office space, surround players and supportive and 20 facilities for the less fortunate effort for a KU. Track cycling events are broken up into two categories: a sprint or endurance events. Within each category are many different events. Not all of them contest at the Olympic. Events come and go from the Olympic program, but there is always a mixture of sprint and endurance event for men and women to compete in. The track is normally made out of either timbers or synthetics or a mixture of both, and has various colored bands which add as lanes for the riders to label on the events. A blue area on the inside of the track is the warming up areas and is prohibited during race. The black line on the track is the measurement line. It sits to 20 cm above the blue areas and it is the shortest route around the tracks. Last but not least, on the outside of the black line is a red line. These two lines create a sprinter's lane, and if a rider is in this lane, then overtaking of the side is not allowed. Next is for sport type. A velodrome is an arena for track cycling. Modern velodromes feature stepped banks over tracks consistent of two 118-degree circular bands connected by two streets. The all-new National Velodrome in Nilai, Negeri Sembilan, will be the country's new cycling hub for national cyclists, aspiring champions, biking enthusiasts, and all Malaysians. Youth and Sport Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said the spanking 18 million Velodrome will take over from Velodrome Raya in Ipoh, Perak, which is being upgraded, as well as the Cheras Velodrome in Kuala Lumpur, which will be demolished. Last but not least, the Nilai Velodrome will also be the venue for all cycling events at the KLC Games and KL Asians Para Games, which will be held from August 19 to 30 and September 17, 23 to 23 respectively.
Okay, now I will continue our presentation about the special approach of the Velodrome National Nilai, which is indoor stadium. Okay, the one of the special approach of the Velodrome National Nilai is the Velodrome has a BMX cycling tracks. Okay, now I'll continue to the second point is BMX Malaysia primary role is to promote and develop BMX racing in Malaysia. Okay, based out from the National Velodrome BMX in Nilai, they strive to find the next Malaysia champions. Okay, the last point for the Velodrome BMX track is the Velodrome and BMX tracks will be a hive or activity in August.
Okay, now the facilities provided at Velodrome National Malaysia. First, energy efficiency. It helps to ensure that the building provided an excellent, bright environment. It also, according to Union Cyclists International (UCI), to give the best amount of illuminance to be in the track for cyclists. The illuminance needs much as it can to avoid any shadow placed on the track during the event. It is because they want to avoid distraction from the cyclists. The amount of lux was determined to be enough for any emergency, safety, operations and security situations. The current technology is adapting the kinetic element into one of the architectural elements on the building. The kinetic architecture was designed to be dynamic, adaptable and capable to be installed into the building structure. Apart from that, light is able to penetrate the roof of this velodrome by 50% during the day, and this provide energy saving to this velodrome. Secondly, more seated provided. In the event, it able to seated up to 2,000 spectators at time to time. Thirdly, athlete dorms. It provided convenience to international athletes as well as every athlete who want to stay. It's great for overseas teams that compete and want a spirit atmosphere. This dorm has 5 male rooms and 5 female rooms for corporate rooms. It also provided a corporate room for VVIP visitors who visit and the velodrome and to watch the competition. Lastly, 5. It was the great facilities provided in the Velodrome National. It's a anti-doping room. This one of the nice and excellent facilities and a must-have at every international competing sport facilities. This indicates that with the category 1 placed on this velodrome, this facility is much needed as it's important to facilities doping taken from competing athletes. Okay, the Velodrome National also the first indoor stadium in Southeast Asia. So the Malaysia people need to proud to the government because of the grant of this Velodrome National to our cyclists.
Okay, to sum up, there are outdoor and indoor stadiums. There are various types of facility available in each stadium or sports arena, either outdoor or indoor. Okay, so each stadium has its own advantages. So each facility provided will provide benefits to users, such as lightening the load and speeding up the work. So in addition, facilities are important to further complement the function of the stadium and sports center. So the responsibility as a sport facility manager is to ensure that long-term facilities are durable and the short-term facilities are available when needed. As a user, the responsibility while using the facility is important because the facility will be used by others as well. So the most important things here is FNB Stadium and the Velodrome National Stadium Nilai has excellent facilities and their own advantages. So that's all from us.